starting to think that this thing may be a little bigger than the first.
I think it's got bigger teeth. I do. And let me explain everything. We're going to go right now and talk about how it's all going to come together because, well, I've just got new information to share with you. So this is what I've built for you. The storm now is showing signs of moving to the west. As a matter of fact, the western portion I showed you a little earlier starting to blow up a bit. Well, the new models are in and they're picking up on the exact same thing. Consequently, the numbers are getting bigger, and I'm going to share those numbers with you. But let's go over and talk about how much snow do we get in this area. How do I see it working out? Well, this first map, this is what I showed you when I saw you at 5 and 6 o'clock this evening. We were thinking a trace to 2 inches north and west. New York City, the 2 to 4 inch range. Maybe that 4 to 8 the further east you went, maybe down to the south little fringe of Ocean County as well. Well, the trend is the same. Smaller totals north and west, bigger totals to the further east you go. But now we're thinking, whereas the city was leaning more towards the 2, now the city leans more towards the 4, if not portions of the city in that 4 plus. And then the further you go, that little area out around the Twin Forks, that's over 8 inches of snow. I think that's how that's going to come together. And the models are picking up on that as well. Here we go with the RPM, calling for 9 inches in Montauk, calling for 5 inches in New York City, 6.7 Brick, lower totals north of the city, 0.3 Monticello, maybe around 2 inches for Poughkeepsie. I do think Poughkeepsie will pick up more snow than Monticello because this storm is tilting a little bit on its longitudinal axis. So what do we call for the European? 7.8 in Montauk, 5.1 Brick, 3.8 in the city, smaller numbers again north and west. The NAM, 9.2 for Montauk, 4.3 in the city, 6.5 Brick, and again 0.3 in Monticello, 2.3 in Poughkeepsie. Here is what we see currently outside. It's not here yet. There it is. Just starting to see the leading edge now into the Chesapeake and offshore of Delaware. Bigger, broader picture is going to show you this is the portion of it that we really have to watch. It's now filled in throughout North Carolina into Virginia, and this is what we watch moving in our direction. How does it play out? Just getting here a little earlier than we thought. At 9 o'clock in the morning, it's not only to Ocean County, it's now into Monmouth County. That's 9 a.m. Then you get to 1 p.m. I mean, look how far north it's gone. And the Long Island under heavy snow at that hour, and it stays under it as you keep just churning out there. As a matter of fact, 10 o'clock at night, still nipping at the city still. So the island will get some big totals, but I bumped up those totals for the city as well. By Sunday, 1 o'clock, it's done with some 1 a.m. with just some trailing little snow showers out there. The extended forecast, cold air stays in place. That's the other part of this storm. I mean, you got the moisture, you need the cold air. Anything that falls is going to be in the form of a snowflake, all right? But by the time you get to Wednesday, you're out of the cold air with a high temperature of 51. So is it the biggest storm we've ever had? No. Do we see it now as being a bigger system than I showed you at, say, 5 o'clock this afternoon? Yeah, I do.
Yes.
I think it's got bigger teeth.
All right.
I think a lot of kids will be happy to hear this.
Hey, KJ, I like a nice snowstorm. I do.